Okay, I think we are live. Hopefully you all can see me. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Roy in here. Hopefully you can see me and hear me quite okay. Let's wait for a few minutes to more people to join. Okay, for whoever joined and want to share a little bit of where they are, and we have some time to more people join, that will be lovely. Hope you can see me as well. So 2 minutes after, we will start directly. Just say hello all, and we will start just with the basic. I think will be the easiest one. Welcome, CS Reimagined. Happy to have this first live on customer success plan, and hopefully what we're going to accomplish today in this 20 minutes short session is learn a little bit about customer success plan, why it's so important, and how to develop one or build one from scratch. With no further ado, I will just jump into the keynotes and just talk about a little bit of what is success plan and why actually we need it. So success plan is one of the most effective and important tools that we have. Basically, it is a plan to help you achieve value and to receive value also from other departments. We are looking into one, drive value to our customers, and second, share value from different departments. And as usually what we look into success plan is to receive the following, is basically looking to get more clarity. And when you look into bring clarity into this, is not only what we can give to the customers, but also how to map the customer, which industry they are, and what value we can bring to them in that solution that we provide for them. It gives us timelines. We now understand when we need to achieve the task and what else the customer is waiting for, due dates, and so on. Responsibilities, who is responsible for what. Sometimes we have a share task that we need to accomplish, so it is important to record responsibility both from our team. It can be not only the CS team, but it can be also from product, from marketing, from sales, from support, and so on. And urgency, how fast do we need to deliver that value to our customers? And if you look on customer success, before we go into the plan, customer success is as simple as desired outcome that we need to deliver to our customers and an appropriate experience, and both of them are very important. So in order to understand what the customer needs and what is the experience he's expecting, we also need to do an account discovery. I'm not very connected to the word account discovery, but it is very well termed. It can be customer discovery or a client discovery. And the main reason that we need this success plan is most likely to use us as a guidance. And as Wayne McCulloch wrote in his book, 7 Pillars of Customer Success, every venture, new venture, needs a plan. And I see it more like a treasure hunt. In order to find the treasure, which is the value that we need to bring to our customer, we need a map. And this map tells us what we need to achieve, where it's located, and so on. So from here, we will jump into a little bit of key elements that the success plan should have. Just to reiterate again, to say a customer success plan provides us a framework for activities that help us and the customers to achieve the desired outcomes, and therefore we always need to be in the know. So we need to understand our client from from top to bottom, from bottom to up. We need to know the client. We need to understand the needs, the impact, constraints, and the problems. We always need to understand the why, and why always start with why they purchase our solution and what do I actually try to achieve. What is the end goal from their side? We need to record and monitor the desired outcome and how we deliver it to them, but also how to prioritize it for them as well, and look into risk and opportunities as well. So when we look on these key elements, there is always a big question, right? Customer success looks into deliver value, and before we can deliver value to our clients, we need to know our clients. We need to know the why, the what, the when, and the how. And the why is always looking into what the customer, or why the customer bought our solution. Is it product or service? What are they trying to solve or to gain with it? When do they need to start or end the project? Or actually, when do they need to see a first value? This is where we measure first time to value. And the how, which how would they like to be delivered? And how to be delivered is part of the experience. We always know that we want to deliver them as much as we can. We also have some KPIs coming from our management to say you need to meet the customer every month or have a QBR every 3 months and so on. Sometimes we've been rejected by the customer, and then we need to explain to our business why these meetings or this KPI never met. If we record it from the beginning and we understand what is the process, and we know how they want to be communicated and what would be the frequency that they want to be communicated, that will also help us to have a more dynamic approach to our customers. So if we look on back then on how they use the funnel in customer journey, they use the old method of having the funnel. We have this 3 or 4 stages. It really depends how you constructed it, but we have where we want to be in awareness mode, then we have education or the consideration mode, and then the select. It goes into purchase, and we have a lot of prospects coming in. Some of them continue to aware, some of them go into the consideration, and then we have one customer that actually bought, or hopefully more than one, that bought the solution. And this is where, if you look on customer-centric companies, any customer-centric company that will tell you that they are customer-centric, if they use 2 different funnels, if you use 2 different journeys, if they have a buyer's journey and then they have a customer journey, the buyer's journey is usually marketing and sales, and the customer journey is usually from the post-sales, right, for customer success and support and so on. If they're looking at they have 2 different KPIs, they have 2 different measurements, and at the end, if they are not connected, you are not working for a customer-centric company. You're working for the old funnel, right? The silos that each one of them is being measured differently. But customer success is actually looking at value, and value starts from the awareness. It starts as early as a branding enhancement that we want to do. So when a customer or potential prospect is looking at if we can help them, customer success actually start there. It starts in the awareness, and it continue and progressing through all these funnels. So the way they look at it is not really a funnel anymore. It's more of the bow tie. So the value is actually starting on the left-hand side where he's aware, and it's just running through across all the different stages. As you can see, we have a gap at the moment in the middle between the select and the onboard, and this is where the friction is usually coming, the handover between sales to the post-sales, to the CSMs, and so on. And customer success plan is that framework or that dynamic document that you need to build in order to help you to make the value run seamlessly and smoothly from one side of the funnel to the other side, where we can actually end up in expansion and advocacy and growth. So the main reason of doing this is actually to look on how important the success plan is and how we can make it from one side to another. And this is why it's so important to build the customer success plan together with marketing, together with sales, and together with the customer themselves when they moved from the one side of the bow tie to the other side. And when we look on aware and educate and select, we're looking on marketing and sales. When we look on lead generation, we want to make sure that it's working through an ICP. Do we know exactly who do we approach, what actually we offer, because when it moves from select to onboard, it's no longer the promised land. It's no longer the promising way of things. It is, hey, now I actually need to act according to what I promised. And the customer, they don't really mind who they're talking to, if it's marketing, if it's sales, if it's support, if it's customer success, if it's product. For them, we are the vendor. For them, we are the one supplying them the service or the product. And we can't say, hey, it's marketing promise or it's sales promise. It's a unified approach. And this is why it's so important to have this one single journey, that we should call it customer journey for the fullest, right? So when we look on client discovery, we always want to know the why. What is the problem that we are going to solve for them, and how they see it, and which product they're actually interested in or bought, and what are the use cases that they need. And also important is when, because when impacting experience is part of customer success, as said already, and we want to look on all elements of the customer success rather than just on, hey, let's deliver this outcome or the desired outcome, but the experience for the customer while receiving this value wasn't that great. It will impact from the get-go renewal, expansion, and so on. Another way to look on client discovery and things and elements that we need to add is the company details. We want to know which industry they are living in. We want to know what segment they are. And I'm not talking about the regular segment of enterprise, middle market, and so on. I'm talking more of holistic way of looking on customers, not only on which industry they are, but also how we should communicate with them and what they need from us. Some small companies need a lot of attention and they might fall under an enterprise, while enterprise, they don't need, they need maybe much less. They can do with a digital or very, very small engagement. So the company details, the stakeholders, again, it's an element that we should look at when we conduct any relationship with the customer. We want to understand who is the champion or who are the champions, who is the decision maker, who is the buyer, or the one who holds the funds and the budget, and also who are the detractors. We want to know if there's anyone there that might not help us to gain more champions and actually be a detractor. And it's important because when we look on later on desired outcome and maybe support calls, we want to align these stakeholders into one of these segment, are the champions and so on, and give the attention that they might need in order to bring them to our side. The pink analysis is to look into problems and impacts, needs, and constraints that we have from the customers, and we look at it when we talk about the plan itself. And priority, which is, I think, understood exactly what it means. We need to prioritize the task. We need to bring what is more important to the customer as fast as we can, because this is how they measuring us at the end of it. So let's go into the build-up. Let's go into a success plan that I'm using. This is based on Coda. It's a template, and the way I'm using it is just to get everything in one place. I want to see the customer in one place, and I want to know everything about it. I want to know who is the customer, what is the ARR, what is the segment that they belong to. As you can see, it's a different way of segment. If they are in high risk or low risk, how healthy they are, how many days they have to renewal, and obviously to understand if they're ICP, because if they're not ICP, there is a risk already there for a product unfit, or maybe a communication unfit, or regulation, and so on. Some of the risks that we will look in a second. And obviously the stage that they are. And when we look little bit into the plan itself, this is the way that brings much more of value to the way that we build it. And the value that we actually need is coming from different channels, and it can come from marketing, it can come from sales, it can come and should come from the customer themselves. And the way that we can build it is, first of all, understand the status of this one. If it's just we just started with it, it will always be either not started or inbox. Who is the owner? If they have any project that related to that particular success plan, we can mention it in here. Whether it was agreed with our customer and so on. Who is and who are maybe the contact that we have at that customer. Do we have a main success plan contact? And that will be the person that we'll go to. We want this person to be as much as engaged as we can, because we need a lot of information coming in the build-up of this plan. If they have any risk, we want to, and the customer has any risk with us, we want to record it. We want to understand what is it exactly. In this one, we can just click on and choose let's stay with the relationship, and understand that the main indicators can be either there's no champion or stakeholders, or maybe not enough technical resources for them to do the onboarding, and therefore we are actually at risk as well. Then we go into the plan itself, and the plan, as you can see, is built exactly like it was presented. We need to know our client. We need to know the main services that they give. We need to understand their business. We need to understand the internal tools that they use, the one that we can integrate with, the one that might even be on our way if we want to prove something or we want to show a value of something. And the stakeholders list, we want to understand the decision makers, the budget owners, the project team, and the detractors, as said already. Any priority, this is very crucial for us to understand how we have a due date. So think of this stage as doing a customer success plan on the onboarding period. We want to work fast. We want to show value as fast as we can. We need to record the desired outcome in a way that it's, by the way, not too much or not too many. We don't want to have 20 desired outcomes because that prolong our showing value. We want to focus what's really is burning, what is the priority, and how fast we can actually deliver this as well. Who are the resources, and if they have any go live date, then mark it as well. Then go into an analysis where we want to understand the problems, we want to understand the impact, and so on. And the whole idea behind it is to gather as much information as we can, because this data will become an insight, and this insight will bring value or help us to actually try to avoid from a disaster that might come or might not see it's coming. The other part is a product and services. By telling the story of which product they bought and which use case they are using, it's actually telling us a story of what exactly they are trying to achieve, and that can help us also to regulate desired outcome, because in some point they know the problem but they don't really know what they need. And in some cases that I've been, customer told me, you need to tell me what I need to do, right? So if we know as many details as we can about the customer, about the industry, about the segment, and so on, we know why they bought, and we know what problem actually made them the decision to buy our product or service, we can also help them with desired outcome and mention few in here. So desired outcome is almost as easy as just writing it down. But for this, obviously, we need to know what they are looking for, who is the department that actually would be in charge of the desired outcome, a due date, priority either by the P level, P0 to P3, and or just flaming fire over there just to show how it is what is the priority for it. The journey stages, either they want it right now in the onboarding, or they actually want the desired outcome to be in a later stage, right after adoption. What is the status of this desired outcome? And it's important to say that it's not enough to have a status done and we know we achieve that or we deliver this desired outcome, we also need to communicate with the customer and show them the value that we brought and show them the desired outcome that we delivered, and get their approval that it was a success one, a partial, or in some cases, hey, this is what you delivered, this is not exactly what I wanted, because that again will impact the experience. And we can add success criteria, and obviously we can add, and maybe it's important to add just contact. We want to know who is the person that actually requested that desired outcome, because at the end we want to know that if this person for some reason is actually sitting as a detractor, or they're sitting as a budget owner or decision maker, we know exactly that although their priority was 3, we might want to make it 4, because there is another, almost I would say, stress level that we want to actually take off of us, and understand that, hey, this persona or this stakeholder is so important that we want actually to deliver his value or her value faster than what this plan is actually looking at. So this is also a very important aspect to look at. From risk and an opportunity, risk management is extremely important and crucial to add almost to any plan that you create. And the way to register it, you have 2 ways: either to just create a new one, look into the categories, and let's choose one, sentiment, and choose the correct one, poor sentiment, and just give it the right level that you can have all the risk being identified, and you can manage the risk by saying, we know it's coming from NPS, and we are now starting a resolution plan in order to mitigate the risk and not to impact an experience or a desired outcome that might, again, put us in a risk of churn from the get-go. So even if it's an onboarding, we might not get renewal in the onboarding, but we definitely be at risk of churn if things will not go as smooth as they should. Next step is not a desired outcome, is just another layer that we want to add if they ask us to do something, or there is something that we need to deliver which is not a desired outcome, but they are waiting for something. So a next step, even if it's a meeting, a phone call, a document that they would like to have, or even if they say, you know what, I want to speak with one of your customers, everything can be registered in here. And that's a cool way actually to show them that you monitor every request from them. The last portion would be a communication and process, and the communication is really all about an experience, because what we said in the beginning, customers sometimes they don't want the same level of engagement from you. They might want more than what we offer, they might want less than what we offer, and we need to know. I have a customer that told me once, I don't want to deal with salespeople. I want to deal only with people who understand my problem. And sales always try to sell me something. So we had a CSM speaking with them, and he said, I want someone with a higher level. Obviously, we can't bring to any customer the highest level, because as long as you go up, you have less and less available resources. But they have someone that they wanted. They have someone who is a CSM, who understands the problem, who understand what they're trying to achieve. And the communication with them was not based on what the KPIs were for the CSM. It was what the customer actually told us. I want to meet every 2 weeks, and I want to get an email once a week. And that was communication right in there. And we know exactly this customer, this is the way he operates, this is the way he likes to be engaged. The process, if you have any process that somehow related to the stage that we are at with the plan, it's good to monitor it in here or record it in here. And the main reason is sometimes you see that in a big company you need to have change management. You can't do any changes, you can't do anything without actually operate a process or internal process at their side, and it's very important to do so. So this is a very quick session of how to build a success plan, an impactful one, hopefully that can deliver value to the customers, can take the value from the get-go, from marketing and sales, and just drive it through all the way to CS and hopefully ending up with expansion and advocacy. And I'm very happy that all of you been with me today, and hopefully you take some insights and you have some good nuggets that you can use. If you have any question, you can put it in the chat, and if you don't want to put it in the chat, if you just want to communicate with me, you can send me either in email or in LinkedIn and approach me there. Thank you very much for this. I don't know if you have any questions. I will look in the chat to see if there are any questions for a minute or two, and if not, I thank you very much for joining me this evening for Customer Success Plan Build Up, and I wish you rest of the day a very good one. Thank you. Till next time.